What if I told you that the world's most successful investor, a man worth over $100 billion, spends 80% of his day doing just one thing? Not trading stocks. Not attending board meetings. Not scrolling Twitter. He reads. We're talking 500 pages. Every single day. And here's the thing, he's been doing it for over 70 years. That habit, that discipline, is the single most important factor behind one of the greatest financial minds in history. Today, we're going to break down exactly how Warren Buffett reads, why it works, and, most importantly, how you can steal this habit and apply it to your own life. Let's get into it. Warren Buffett wasn't born rich. He wasn't handed a portfolio. He was just a kid from Omaha, Nebraska who fell in love with one thing, information. By age 11, he had already read every single book in his local library that mentioned the word finance. He even read his father's stock analysis books, twice, before he was 12. Fast forward to today, Buffett is in his 90s, worth over $100 billion, and he still shows up to his Omaha office at Berkshire Hathaway and reads for the majority of his working day. When asked once by a Columbia Business School student what the key to success was, Buffett held up a stack of papers and reports and said, Warren Buffett wasn't born rich. He wasn't handed a portfolio. He was just a kid from Omaha, Nebraska who fell in love with one thing, information. By age 11, he had already read every single book in his local library that mentioned the word finance. He even read his father's stock analysis books, twice, before he was 12. Fast forward to today, Buffett is in his 90s, worth over $100 billion, and he still shows up to his Omaha office at Berkshire Hathaway and reads for the majority of his working day. When asked once by a Columbia Business School student what the key to success was, Buffett held up a stack of papers and reports and said, Read 500 pages like this every day. That's how knowledge works. It builds up, like compound interest. Compound interest. The most powerful force in investing, and Buffett applies it to knowledge itself. But the question is, what exactly is he reading? And why does it work? But the question is, what exactly is he reading? And why does it work? Let's bust the first myth. Buffett isn't reading 500 pages of novels or self-help books. Here's what fills his daily reading stack. Annual reports. This is the core. Buffett reads the full annual reports of companies he owns, companies he's considering, and their competitors. He wants to understand businesses at a fundamental level. Financial newspapers. He reads the Wall Street Journal, the Financial Times, and several local papers every morning. Not for hot tips, but to understand the macro environment that affects businesses. Books on business and history. Buffett has said that biographies of great business leaders are among his most valued reading. He looks for patterns, how great people made decisions, how they failed, how they recovered. 10K and 10Q filings. These are the official SEC filings that companies are required to submit. Boring? Yes. But to Buffett, they're treasure maps. His longtime partner Charlie Munger once joked, Warren reads so much that I sometimes wonder if he has a second pair of eyes hidden somewhere. And the key thing to understand? Buffett doesn't read to impress anyone. He reads to think. There's a massive difference. So why does this level of reading actually work? Is it just about knowing more facts? Not exactly. There's a concept in neuroscience called cognitive latticework, a term Munger himself popularized. The idea is that the more mental models you accumulate, the better you are at recognizing patterns and making good decisions under pressure. Think of your brain as a filing system. Every book you read, every annual report you study, every biography you finish, it adds a new file, a new connection. Over time, these files start linking to each other. A problem in one industry triggers a memory from a completely different one. This is how Buffett can walk into a conversation about an insurance company and within minutes, identify the key risk factors, because he's read about 50 similar companies before. Research from the University of Sussex found that just 6 minutes of reading reduces stress by 68%, more than music or going for a walk. But the deeper benefit is what happens over years, the slow, steady accumulation of perspective that no shortcut can replicate. Buffett famously protects his reading time ferociously. He has no social media. He keeps very few meetings. His calendar is deliberately empty, not because he's lazy, but because empty time is thinking time. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm not Warren Buffett. I can't read 500 pages a day. I have a job, kids, responsibilities. Fair. And Buffett himself would agree. He spent decades building up to that level. He didn't start with 500 pages. He started with a single book on investing at age 7. But here's a framework you can use right now. It's called the 5-hour rule, first described by author Michael Simmons, who studied the habits of the world's most successful people. The rule is simple: dedicate at least one focused hour, 5 days a week, to deliberate learning. That's it. 5 hours a week. Bill Gates reads 50 books a year. Elon Musk taught himself rocket science from textbooks. Oprah Winfrey credits a daily reading habit as her most important ritual. But it's not just reading that matters. It's how you read. Buffett doesn't skim. He doesn't read for highlights. He reads to understand the full picture, including the footnotes, the exceptions, the things most people skip. His tip: read the first chapter. Then the last chapter. Then read the whole thing. Get context before detail. Understand where you're going before you start the journey. Here's the thing: the real secret isn't the 500 pages. The real secret is what happens between the pages. Buffett once said, "I have no use for busyness." While most executives fill their days with back-to-back meetings, calls, and decisions, Buffett protects long stretches of uninterrupted time. Time to think. Time to let information settle. Reading without reflection is like eating without digestion. You take in all this information, but you never absorb it. Buffett keeps a simple note-taking habit. When he reads something that changes his thinking, even slightly, he writes it down. Not in a fancy app. On paper. He's been doing it since the 1950s. He also talks about the concept of a too-hard pile. If he reads about a business and can't understand how it makes money within an hour, he puts it in the too-hard pile and moves on. No ego. No forcing it. The discipline to say, "I don't understand this," is just as important as the ability to say, "I do." That intellectual humility, combined with relentless curiosity, is the real engine behind Buffett's success. So let's bring this home. Warren Buffett reads 500 pages a day, not to show off, but to compound his understanding of the world. He reads annual reports, business biographies, newspapers, and SEC filings. He protects his time, reflects on what he reads, and never stops being a student. The takeaway for you? Start with 1 hour a day. Read something that actually challenges you, not just entertains you. Write down one thing you learned. Do it tomorrow. And the day after that. Knowledge compounds. Just like interest. And in 10 years, the gap between the person who read daily and the one who didn't will be staggering. If you found this valuable, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people. And if you want more breakdowns of how the world's greatest investors, thinkers, and builders actually operate, subscribe. We drop a new video every week. I'll see you in the next one.